Chris Hipkins jumps into bed with Chlöe Swarbrick. Regarding climate change, the absolute minimum we should expect from political leaders is seriousness, competence and responsibility. But instead, far too many MPs from the Labour and Green parties cling to outdated talking points and negligent ideological comfort blankets, especially when it comes to nuclear energy and modern SMRs. Chris Hipkins, so desperate for another 18 months as New Zealand's Prime Minister to qualify for his lifetime taxpayer-funded tax-free perks, has decided to jump into bed with Chlöe Swarbrick and push the bogus danger, danger nuclear energy theme. Let's be blunt. Any politician who refuses to even consider nuclear energy is not acting responsibly. They are not doing their job. They are actively sabotaging the fight against climate change, unless, of course, they actually believe that climate change is in fact a hoax, and they're scamming the public for votes. Let's face it, a lifetime of tax-free perks are on the table for Hipkins, so I guess in his book, it's all worth lying and scamming the public again for a few more months. If the Labour Greens' mission is to genuinely decarbonise, then every clean energy source must be on the table. Not just the ones that are fashionable, not just the ones that poll well, not just the ones that fit neatly into a party slogan. New Zealand needs solar, powerful but intermittent, wind, scalable but variable, hydro, reliable but geographically limited, geothermal, stable but underdeveloped, nuclear, dense, dependable and nearly zero carbon. Leaving nuclear out of the conversation is not a policy choice, it is a dereliction of duty.
Nuclear energy is something that New Zealand's been firmly opposed to, and we should stay that way.
Nuclear comparison to renewables. A very tiny pellet of uranium can produce as much energy as about 1 tonne of coal, due to uranium's extremely high nuclear fission energy density being millions of times higher than coal's chemical combustion energy density. What this means in practice: to match the energy from one tiny uranium pellet, you would need solar, a large solar farm operating for days, wind, multiple turbines running for hours to days, hydro, a significant volume of falling water, geothermal, continuous operation of a geothermal well. Renewables are excellent for clean power, but they rely on large areas rather than dense fuel. Big is not better. Uranium, a tiny mass, produces enormous energy because fission releases nuclear binding energy. Coal, chemical energy is far weaker than nuclear energy, so you need tons of it. Hydro, wind, solar, geothermal, these don't use fuel, so the comparison is based on area, flow or operating time needed to match the same kilowatt hours. Take a look at the table chart included at the end of this video presentation. The hypocrisy is stunning. Some politicians, like the New Zealand Green Party's co-leader Chlöe Swarbrick, claim to be climate champions, yet refuse to even discuss nuclear energy. She postures as a defender of the planet while rejecting the single most reliable, scalable, low-carbon energy source humanity has ever created. What a raving, low-IQ scam artist she is. This is not environmentalism. This is not leadership. This is political cowardice dressed up as principle. If a leader even refuses to discuss, let alone evaluate nuclear energy, they are not protecting the environment, they are protecting their own political comfort, and they are most certainly not working in the best interests of the country and its citizens. Modern nuclear is not the bogeyman of the past. Today's nuclear technology, especially small modular reactors, SMRs, is a different universe from the reactors of decades ago. SMRs offer passive safety systems that shut down automatically, factory-built modules that slash costs and construction time, tiny land footprints compared to wind and solar, stable baseload power that keeps the grid alive when the sun and wind don't cooperate, near zero emissions during operation. Rejecting this technology outright is not cautious, it's reckless. It is the equivalent of refusing a life raft because you don't like the colour. As I've said so many times, the New Zealand Green Party are negligent scam artists, and as it would seem now, so is Chris Hipkins and the New Zealand Labour Party. Climate reality doesn't care about political convenience. Reality does not bend to ideology. Physics does not negotiate. The atmosphere does not care about your party platform. If a politician refuses to consider nuclear energy, they are not serious about climate action. They're not serious about emissions reduction. They're not serious about the future. They are performing environmentalism, not practicing it. A responsible government reviews everything, no exceptions. A real climate strategy demands evaluation of every low-carbon technology, transparent comparison of risks and benefits, long-term planning beyond election cycles, courage to challenge outdated public fears, commitment to science over slogans. Anything less is not leadership, it's negligence. New Zealand's Labour and Green parties are negligent. Conclusion. Excluding nuclear energy from the discussion is not a position, it's a failure. Tackling climate issues demands courage, it demands honesty, it demands leaders who are willing to use every tool available, not just the ones that are politically comfortable. Solar, wind, hydro, geothermal and nuclear are not rivals, they are energy allies. They are the combined arsenal we need to provide clean, green, reliable, cost-effective, renewable energy. A politician who refuses to even consider nuclear energy, especially the modern small modular reactors, SMRs, is being grossly irresponsible. They are not doing their job and they are not protecting the planet. They are choosing politics over survival, and that is unforgivable. Chris Hipkins has jumped into bed with Chlöe Swarbrick, and they are both idiots. If you think that the Labour or the Green Party are good for you, then think again, because they are most certainly not. Take a look at this table chart, and you'll see that big is not better. Thank you for listening. WhangāreiTim.
Nuclear energy is something that New Zealand's been firmly opposed to, and we should stay that way.